for what's right. Fight for your life. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
How much you want to bet that amongst the drugs that Donald Trump was just treated with is either the vaccine or one of these drugs that were promised, that he's been promising were going to come for weeks now, for weeks. Remember, it was going to come sometime in October, maybe just before November. What if Donald Trump was just treated with the vaccine? And what if he was the very first American to do it? The very first American outside of clinical trials. Wow, what a coup that would be, wouldn't it? Rusty Shackelford, Radio Free America. Yeah, I don't know if that's what's going on, but would that not be one heck of an October surprise, ladies and gentlemen? After the second negative confirmation to come out in 2 weeks or so, whatever it is, after he gets the all clear, what if that's when he delivers the October surprise that we have a vaccine? Wouldn't that be something else? Anyway, either way, Trump just did something really, really extraordinary. Now, I'm not saying that Trump said, hey, the vaccine's ready. Give me a little bit of the corona. But if he did, wouldn't that be a brilliant move? I got a little bit of the corona, but I beat the corona. So on Friday, Trump is a dead man. The media went into an almost orgasmic state. They erupted, convulsed in joy. This is it. This guy's toast. He's 72 years old. He's fat. He eats McDonald's. This guy is ripe for the picking. Corona is going to roast him. He's going to be dead in 24 hours. What are they talking about on Friday? Everything is quiet. Trump doesn't say anything. What are they doing on Friday? Trump is dead. They're talking about transfer of power with Mike Pence. Where's Mike Pence? Where's the transfer of power? The 25th Amendment. Trump was dead to rights. And how fitting. This is where they just really crescendoed. How fitting that it's the corona that got Trump, that killed him. Finally, it's so poetic. This is what they're thinking on Friday. Don't hear much on Saturday. We heard that the president's fever was spiking and he had to be put on oxygen. So, of course, it's very grim. And they're eating it up and serves him rightfully so. This is what he gets. And what happens on Sunday? On Sunday, Trump comes out in the motorcade, and he waves and he buys pizza for all of his supporters outside Walter Reed Hospital. And their little fantasy, it just went away. Trump's not dead. Not only is Trump not dead, he's out in public. He's out in public. So what's the first thing to do? They have to get into some kind of an accusational mode. All right, he's not dead, but look, he's outside. He shouldn't be outside. Trump shouldn't be putting these Secret Service guys' lives at risk. Which, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone is really on this particular little tactic, if anyone is fooled by this tactic that Donald Trump somehow put the Secret Service at risk, then you're probably too far gone for anything I can do to help you, because that's kind of what they do. It's really the defining job characteristic of what it is they're supposed to do. Take a bullet for the president, but I can't catch the corona. No. Yeah, you could jump in front of a bullet, but the corona, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. At any rate, so on Sunday, the attitude changed. And they went after him about unnecessarily putting people's lives at risk. And then they went after Walter Reed Hospital. Defund Walter Reed Hospital. These doctors, they're all quacks, and they're losing their mind. I mean, this is it. Mind blown. And what does Trump do? Trump comes out and says, I feel great. I'm feeling like I haven't felt in 20 years. He looks good, his color's back, and boy, they're losing it even more. He's being reckless. Well, he's coming out and he's telling people not to be scared of the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, Trump was dead. He was a dead man. On Tuesday morning, Trump looks like he's 20 years younger. He just took away. Trump giveth on Friday and taketh on Tuesday. And to watch it unfold was really very interesting. Whether this was done purposefully or not, there's no denying what a brilliant move it was. Trump now has had the coronavirus. Trump has now beat the coronavirus. Trump has proven that you can be 72 years old, you can eat McDonald's, you can be on the overweight side, you can have a wonderful head of hair, and you can go out, you can catch the coronavirus, and by golly, you can beat it. And not only can you beat it, you just beat it with this new under an executive order that he signed in his first year as president. And then when the coronavirus hit, giving the authority to go ahead and fast track these drugs, we now have these novel these novel cures. Or I don't know, do we? We're about to find out. Wouldn't it be very curious if Donald Trump was the very first American citizen outside of clinical trials to be treated with what has gone on to prove to defeat COVID in record time. Record time. So it's just an idea, but here's one thing that we do know happened, whether that's the case or not. Here's what we know. What did we learn from this? Well, specifically what he's treated with, remdesivir, fiends and does and das, whatever it is, these medical terms. There are two things that we know, at least one thing for sure that we know that he has, and one thing I bet he has. Coming out of all of that, they basically said they threw the kitchen sink in order to try to cure the president. Well, we know he's on steroids. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is on steroids. and what if, and I can just see it playing out like this, what if Trump says, hey, why don't you give me some of that Biden stuff? Why don't you give me some of that stuff that, whenever Joe needs to go out in public for more than 15 minutes, that stuff they give him, let me get some of that. And so when Trump said he's not felt better in 20 years, he's probably right. He's all hopped up on speed and steroids. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is on speed and steroids right now. So if you think the left, if you think Donald Trump was a wrecking ball before he was on speed and steroids, oh boy, the left is going to really have a collective aneurysm. It's going to, and now that Donald's on speed, if you thought that he was working long hours before, wait till the circles you see him run around Biden now. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Rusty Shackelford, and what I wanted to do here today, just for a couple of minutes, is wanted to do a little bit of community outreach after the last episode. I had some conversations, and once again, I still wasn't convincing enough the argument that I gave that Trump is just mean sometimes. And boy, they wish he wasn't a bully. Okay, well, for my friends who like the stuff that Donald Trump has done, who agree with the stuff that Donald Trump has done, but just hate the way he does it, and don't like any of Biden's ideas, but he seems like a nice guy, old Uncle Joe. Well, if you're still on the fence, I'd like to offer this analogy. Let me fire up the old computer here. I hope that I'm at where I'm supposed to be and not on Roblox. Oh, yes, here we are. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So, going through the latest Science Daily, news from Science News, one of my favorite all-time websites, Science News. Fecal transplants, the super donor phenomenon. I'm going to read to you what a fecal transplant is real quick if you're not familiar, and I'm going to tell you a couple of key points that you need to know about fecal implants. So, fecal transplants, not implants. Fecal transplants could be used to treat intestinal disorders like inflammatory bowel disease and perhaps even prevent Alzheimer's and cancer. If we can unlock the secrets of the gut-rejuvenating super donor, says researchers. Fecal transplants have become routine treatment for nasty recurring diarrheal infections. Okay, all right. So, a fecal transplant, ladies and gentlemen, you may not like Donald Trump. You might think he's a piece of excrement. But let me further explain how these fecal transplants work. According to our friends according to old Johnny Hopkins himself, old Johnny. Where are we at there, Johnny Hopkins? Yes, okay. So, in order for this to work, in order for the fecal transplant to work, the stool has to be taken from a healthy donor. Okay, and then it is transplanted into the patient whose stomach is all messed up, with a lot of bad crap. It's just got a lot of bad crap in it. So this healthy crap is taken from a healthy donor and it's transplanted into the swamp, the cesspool, the gut, where all the unnecessary, all that garbage is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I contend that if you ever thought that Donald Trump is a piece of crap, well, you might be right. He might be a piece of crap. But I'm going to tell you what. He's a piece of crap from a healthy donor, and that healthy donor is the private sector. He didn't come out of the swamp of Washington. There's no way we could possibly get a solution from a gut that is infected with the bacteria that lives in it. Donald Trump came out of the private sector. He put himself right in the firing line. He is the donor, the excrement donor from a healthy environment planted into a non-healthy gut. And he's there to mess crap up. He's there to just get rid of all the bad bacteria. So if you're still on the fence about how you feel about Donald Trump, I want you to think about fecal transplants and then say this to yourself. You may say, Donald Trump is in fact a piece of excrement. But you know what? He's good shit. Rusty Shackelford, ladies and gentlemen, Radio Free America. Till next time.